Oh my god, I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. Oh my god. If there's one thing that turns me into a very excitable little jiggly, wiggly, hand flailing, lisping fanboy, it is this series right here, guys. We are going right on into it. Let's bloody go. I am so goddamn excited. It's a best of 3 here. It is the round of 8, I believe, in the EPT Weekly number 25. And we have this man over here, one of the most creative players out there, hailing from the Ukraine. He's an absolute mad lad. And as he's always says, he doesn't really like just playing standard. He likes to find a weird twist. He likes it to be a strategy match. He likes to turn it into a chess match, in his words, and definitely not one to just focus on mechanics, but he's all about trickery, trapping his opponent, showing false information. He is Bly. And this is awesome because he's up against a man who plays the exact same style except amplified even more. A man with even worse mechanics and fundamentals, but even more wild cheese. His name is Haas. And that's not even controversial, guys. It's not me shit-talking Haas. His mechanics in terms of his ability to macro and build up all of the upgrades and that sort of stuff, some of the lowest in the game. His ability, though, to micro, to execute pressure, and most importantly, to trick his opponent, to force them down a strategic line where he can absolutely hard counter them. He was playing nice on the weekend. He made it first out of Taiwan, and he actually did qualify first place in Taiwan, crushing Nice, despite Nice being a macro god, and he's doing a cannon rush, guys, to start things off. So in that series, I was calling him a sheepdog, because essentially the way he was playing against Nice is he was constantly forcing him to do something, and then absolutely hard countering. So he just kind of shepherds him, you know? It's like this real sheepdog shepherd kind of just pushes the herd animal into the bad position. And we see it here, guys. He's done the gateway first cannon rush. Look at that. Cancels one of the pylons. Doesn't want to put too much money. I think he'll cancel that, build another one behind it. Oh, he lets that one finish. That's interesting. Has not built a cyber core yet. So this is a bit of an odd rush, but I guess because there's so many drones here, it does make sense. Oh, as it dies, he walls it off. He's got a third cannon there. Bly's just going to try to fight this. There needs to be another probe across that map, but these spines will clean those cannons up from the high ground. They will kill at least one of them. I think as long as... Oh! Bly with a big gamble. He tries to kill the drone, but he doesn't get it. Oh, and the pylon to spot the high ground. Oh, it doesn't give vision to that one, but it'll kill that one. Dude. I actually think he should just click the spine. I think this is so good for Haas right now. That spine gets cancelled, and the pylon will give vision. So if these cannons want to, they can just kill that spine. And yeah, he does it. The spine needs to cancel. Oh, or it needs to uproot and run. Okay, he pulls it back. Maybe he could get it there, but I don't think it'll have range on it. There is an Adept on the way already. So Zergen's going to come to pressure the wall. The Adept will just clean that up, man. She can just rally to the inside of the wall. It looks like he wants to rally it on the outside. Bly knocked back to one base here. He's going to take the gold as a last resort. Now, does she change rally to the inside of the wall? Yeah, good safe play here. I was wondering if Haas would rally to the outside and just dance with the Zerglings. But Haas says, you know what, let's play it safe. Even puts a shield battery down. Now, second gas is mining, only 14 probes on minerals, so 21 probes total. But Haas back to building those workers. Obviously, this is going to very slowly get cleared up by Bly. Takes an extractor trick to squeeze out an extra queen here in the main. It's in fact the first queen. And yeah, the Overlord comes in, sees the Stargate. Ooh, all right. This is not a great situation for Bly, but he can drone up, can get that gold base going. Now, once that pylon's done, this can move there, kill one of these, and then he can eventually spread a tumor and clear it all up with just the spine crawler from the high ground without actually trading. Problem, of course, is that economy, right? Your Nexus is finished. The gold base is finishing at the same time. Adept is out there as well. As you know, the link speed's just starting. So if you could just saturate that gold base, you'd be fine. You can't, though. If you send drones down there, the Adept's just going to pick them off. And, of course, a Void Ray first. Because he's an absolute mad lad. He's a mad Chad. Mad lads build mad Chads, mate. There is no doubt about it. These drones are going to try and drill down. Haas here is like, yes, I will kill one of those. The Zerglings are going to try to defend that. I actually want to... Oh! He uses a shade to spot the spine crawler. Oh! Big shade Adept. But, it's already forced out a lot of Zerglings. The Void Ray is going to clear up this Overlord, and then it's going to come across in pressure. And he might go Phoenix behind that. What's the bet he goes Phoenix? I think he might chrono a Phoenix and try to do like Wings of Liberty style where he picks up a queen and then lets the Void Ray kill it. Come on, Haas, please. Do it for me. Do the old one Void Ray 3 Phoenix pressure. Now it's going to be Oracle. He can't starts an Oracle then cancels it. What's he going to do? All right, the Adept here, shading. Oh, cancel that. I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah. So he finally does back off here. But he's already been annoying. And, oh man, the Void Ray can actually, just as long as it avoids the Spore, it's got 7 range. So we can come here and just pick off a drone or 2 and then just pull out. Yeah, look at this. Oh man, he's already got 1 drone, 2... Yeah, 2 drones go down. Does make a bit of a bruising, but the Adept's still here as well. This is such an awkward build-up. Bly's on 22 drones. Haas has got 2 bases saturated. He's already building a prism. He's making +1 attack. I mean, as long as he just goes into like normal units now, Immortals, Sentries, anything like that, he's in a great position. Oh god, he's so far ahead economically, man. The Adept is going to go down. Shades in the main and says, I can 1v2 you queens. Queens say, get away from my babies, you psychopath. And she does go down, that Adept, but still no 3rd hatch. It's just going down now. Huh. I think we'll see charge, but interestingly, a 3rd and 4th gas come down. I think we're going to see blink. So I think we're going to see maybe a few sentries, but we might actually see Haas only make blink stalkers here, guys. Yeah, knowing how Haas likes to play, I mean, I actually think Haas should open this up, by the way. Should mine that out and then push down the back door. Look at this. Prism, 2 Adepts. Everything has to evacuate. How many drones have we got? 7 drones in total killed this game, but more important is just the pressure that's been mounted. It's going to go charge. Now, the reason that's odd that it's charged is because you've gone 4 gas. Now, Haas is a master of charge plays, but with that much gas, I guess you're just going to do a lot of Archons as well. Such a big lead here. There's just not enough mining. Okay. The drones did finally open up that middle wall. Gets another one and just pulls back for now. Estrella looked so good with his Prism and 2 Adepts, right? When he was playing against Impact, I think it was. Barely got overwhelmed by the big old Ravager all in, but... Oh, look at that! He's even going to just warp in a pack of Zealots here. He's like, hey, buddy. 1 Void Ray, a handful of Zealots, 2 Adepts. And a 2nd Warp Prism. Oh my god, it's just going to be charged at Archon multi-prong for sure. Yeah, there's 6 gates up, soon to be 7 gates. Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm denying your mining here. You're back to 2 base mining, desperately trying to get roaches out. Well, this is just an awkward position for Bly. He's like, all right, you know what, guys? We're going to make Evo chambers here so that I can wall off, because I know Zealot Archon is going to just charge in. And if I have enough queens to snipe the Prism in my main, then it'll be okay. Because this is 2 Warp Prisms, right? Yeah, 1 on the top, 1 there. So he's going to come the front with the Zealot Archon. He's going to try to rotate around. We'll see exactly what's gonna go on. Nice wall off here. Bly's like, hey, survive! Yeah, I mean, that other Prism's just chilling. I think he's forgotten about it. You know, honestly, Haas might just be able to headbutt this wall and attack in and win. He's just going to go for it, and I think it'll work, man. The Archon splash is pretty big there. Oh, not really, actually. That Archon's doing nothing. These Adepts are getting in the way. Good micro, though. Void Ray almost falls to Corrosive Bile. There's just too much Protoss. Bly too far behind here, and Haas. You know, I see people who don't pull a drone to the low ground, and I'm like, versus Haas? And they're like, yep. And you're like, I don't know. Like, for me, I just kind of look at it and I go, what? I would always go pull first or a proxy hatch myself or bring drone down initially to fight that probe and make sure he can't get the wall off. It's always, I would always do one of these. I do think it's kind of rough otherwise. And, you know, first map to Haas, quick decisive win. Vesuvitus says, I'm still waiting to see a professional mass Void Rays with the speed upgrade. Yeah, dude, while I do think the Fuck Veins upgrade is really good, the problem is we have basically stamped out match fixing in StarCraft as far as I know. So the problem that happens there is we have players, when they're playing, they try to win the game. And I know that's a big problem. A lot of people would like to see people just mass Void Rays, but where we are right now, most professionals try to win, because it is their job description. So, yeah. If we see some more mega late game Zerg versus Protosses, you will see some Void Rays with that upgrade. just to deal with Mass Corruptor. But you'll never see mass. Probably a maximum of about 8 or 10 Void Rays at most, I would say. And even that might be pushing it. Just because they clump up a lot. They're very weak to splash damage, spell damage, and they're a specialist. They're really there just to snap Corruptors out of the sky, and they don't really function for much else later on in the game. Up here in the top right, going for a 16 hatch, he is Bly. His opponent down here in the bottom left-hand side of the map, the Red Protoss, the Madman. The absolute psychopath mad lad. Always a pleasure to watch. It is Haas. So no probe going across. Haas is like, hey, I'm up a game. Let's not scout at all. I want to see him not scout until the Adept goes across the map. That would be so sick here. Wouldn't it be funny if Haas didn't even know who Bly was? Like, I would love to hear Haas's thoughts on Bly. He's like, oh yes, he's a strong macro player or something. You know, when you have two players who are both so aggressive, like, I'm always like, wonder what they think about each other. That's interesting. He does go across and then brings a second probe down for the core. So he does want some scouting, a little bit of respect, a modicum of respect, just a little bit. And a drone coming out here for Bly. Ooh. That's interesting. Ah, quick third hatch on the rich gas base. So chances of a Ravager Ling attack here. And probe comes on in. Sees everything is pretty normal. Now, I wonder if Haas noticed that drone go past. He really should have. But if he just goes home without turning south, he's not going to realize that hatch is... Oh, Haas wasn't paying attention. He walked right past that drone, but he was not paying attention. He doesn't know about the third. It's important to know about that rich gas. You got to be on your toes in this situation against any potential Ravager attack. Notice Warp Gate got delayed by a few seconds because he went for a very quick Stargate. There are indeed some really powerful Queen Ravager pushes that can come across this map. You can see the Queen in the natural a little bit earlier than the Queen in the main since there was a third hatchery. Slight supply block on 28 is built into the build. Just part of what happens when you want to squeeze that third hatchery in. Hassia coming across this map. He's really got to see this third hatch, and I think he should see it now. Okay, yeah. Hey, two Zerglings slide on in. Nice micro from Haas, though. Uh-oh. Followed by not so nice micro. The Adept here is going to get engaged as well. So loses a probe, loses a bit of mining time. Good start to things here for Bly. And this Adept, I mean, it doesn't really see much. I think he's going to commit, but... Haas has fantastic Adept micro, by the way, guys. Some of the best in the game. Yeah, good micro. Just pull back. Wants to let those shields regenerate. He's going to try to get on out of dodge. And, Oh, gets a creep tumor. That was a bit greedy. Would have been cool if he turned around and got that one, too. That would have been insult to injury. Phoenix does take out the Overlord as well. Twilight counts are going down very quickly, so it's Phoenix into Oracle, into Twilight. Twilight that early could be a lot of things. Could be you know, Glaive Adepts is what I'm expecting. But we've definitely seen Haas just go charge, do Prism charge harass, build a few Immortals and Sentries, take a third, saturate only the minerals on the third, never take these gases, and just play from there. And that is like one of his favorite things to do. This is like just Haas's favorite all-time PvZ style. So as a Zerg, you've got to remember to check these gas geysers and see if that's what he's going for. He's very, very good at it. Because what he'll do with it is he has just enough gas off two gases to get a few Immortals, a few Sentries, which are great for killing roaches, especially if you trap them with force fields and your Zealots can attack them. But he'll get out a second Prism, which is a real, you know, central part of Haas's play. And he'll use that second Prism to warp in a ton of Zealots in your main while attacking the third base with a lot of Zealot, Immortal, Sentry. And because he's got 3 mineral lines pumping it out, it's very hard to keep up with. Now, in this case, it's actually a delayed DT build. Super friggin' cool. I think this might actually be because he thinks there might be a Ravager rush off that rich gas. And if they don't go lair with it, they just walk Queens and Ravagers across the map. That's one of the best ways to deal with it. Good defense here by Haas. Bly gets a probe, though. Not too bad. I actually really like what I'm seeing from Bly, though. He's not going all in. Right? He could still turn it on. Come across this map with Queens and Ravagers. He's got a quick Roach run. He's got a lot of money. I do think we're going to see Roaches, actually. As I say that, I'm like, dude, he has over 1,000 minerals, Pig. I'm like, I think he's going to attack. but no lair. So this is brilliant foreshadowing. Haas has got a read on him, man. I often see Bly one step ahead of his opponents, but I think honestly, as Bly here, taking the rich gas and then committing to the build, it's something that you're showing this minutes ahead against a guy who's going to go for the hard counter to that. No, I get it. You don't expect anyone to go DTs from here. That's not a thing. That's why this build is so solid. Well, guess what? You're about to learn something, Bly. It's that DTs beat a whole bunch of Ravagers and Queens that are off creep that don't have Overseers and no ability to morph Overseers. Now, it's not necessarily game over, but these DTs are going to be a big surprise for him. And yeah, this is huge. I mean, Haas just needs to let his DTs do the work. Yep. Bly's like, oh, fuck off. Immediately turns around. Loses 3 queens, just like that. The DTs say, get out of here, dickhead. Behind that, a Forge goes down. More gateways are on the way. And getting a few Ravagers as well. Ooh! Tried to bait the DTs. If they were on attack move, they would have walked in. Lair starts, droning starts. Bly's forced into a longer game here. Now, big economic advantage for Haas. You don't hear that very often. I would say this against, if this was a different Protoss player, I'd say massive advantage. What you're going to keep in mind here is Haas has made a ton of DTs, which he seems keen on running them around as a pack right now. And oh, he's going to get those probes out of there. Oh, a bit slow on the probe pool there from Haas. Shield battery, though, does work. The Oracle, the Zealot's going to clean up a lot of Zerglings. Overall, not a good choice to go in there in isolation. You know, it's good to kind of poke and prod and see what's happening. So there is information being gleaned from this, as well as the 5 probe kills. You know what? I guess 5 probes is not terrible. He's droning up behind it. But as I said, I feel like if there's one guy who could kind of potentially mess this situation up a little bit and oh, no, Bly, what are we doing down here? Haas would love to fight right now. He says, hey, all right, buddy, come on, let's engage. You got to get out of there, Bly. Bly has droned up hard, but he's already lost a bunch of Ravagers and Queens earlier, remember? He's going to try to hold this middle choke and scare Haas off, but look at the Zealot Archon count, guys. Oh, my God. Yeah, this is Haas in a nutshell. Give him an excuse, dude. Give Haas an excuse to mass Zealot Archon. Baneling Nest is making, he desperately needs that. Right now, you just have to mass Roach Ravager and try to survive as Bly. That's it. You just got to use Biles, use Stutter Step, use the Zerglings to pull him back. One Prism is almost out. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes another one in a moment. But for now, it looks like, I think Haas senses that he's ahead. And yeah, it's once again, it's not the pleats guy, guys. It is actually just a great commitment. There's spines in the natural, spines in the low ground third. I think Bly realizes that he might have to give this up. Yeah, Bly understands how dire this situation is, and he's like, yeah, all right, you take it. I'll pull back to the other base. I don't need that base. As long as I survive with 3 bases, I'm okay. It's all about how the fight happens. And this is Zealot Archon. It's a short-range, fighty composition. Haas wants a brawling match. He wants to punch. Whereas you've got Ravagers, you've got Roaches. They might not be the most advanced unit, but up against this, you actually have the higher tech, more technical composition. Roach speed's about to kick in. Doesn't quite have creep connecting here. Those drones have got to get out of there. It's still just too many Zealots and Archons. His Banelings aren't ready. The Oracle does go down. That's a good Roach Ravager arc. Oh man, where's the Zealots? There's not that many Zealots. They've all kind of got choked up here. Oh, he comes forward. Big Biles taking out the Warp Prism there. Oh my God, Bly with a spectacular hold here. A lot of the drones on the right went down during this, but it distracted, and you know, Haas there takes out the low ground, but just great buying time, gets enough Roach Ravager. He's going to go for a counter attack to put the hurt on while re-droning behind this. Now, Haas is going into Sentry Stalker Immortal. It's an amazing composition for dealing with Roaches, but Blink's not done, and he has almost no units right now. He's up about 15 workers now. He was up about 20 for a little bit there. Bly is going to send Roach Run by in the top, and he's going to try to work this open area in the natural. This is a great maneuver. Roach is ready to run by up there. And look at this. Ooh, he says, okay, you've still got Zealots. Let's just isolate the Zealots from the Immortals if possible. He's got to be careful. There could be 2 big force fields there, and yeah, really nice force fields, but I think there's just too many units. Roaches run into the base at the same time. And, oh, goodbye, Immortal. Yeah, he one-shots it, even with battery overcharge. You know, that one-shot, Biles down in the battery, and this pack of Roaches is just a bit too strong. Bly here turns this one around. He was massively behind, and we see just how inflexible Zealot Archon is. I would argue the big mistake here from Haas was not having that second Warp Prism that I talked about. He was very late getting his first Prism out, and then he took too much of a one-directional engagement. I think for Haas to have made that fight work on the front, he needed to flank from 2 angles. Now, I guess it's not game over. I don't know, man. I think even here, Haas is dead. I do. Whoa, sorry guys. My observing is super high level. 420 level, man. Shield battery's out of juice. Overcharge will be back in about 10 seconds, so could be another battery overcharge up here. I think he's going to try to use that. It's back, it's back, it's back. I don't know if he has energy on his other neck side. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he does. Does overcharge, but the roach is just one shot. Oh, actually, now it's doing its work. Now it's doing its work. You gotta focus fire, Fly. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, any moment where you're not focus firing, that battery overcharge pays off. Haas desperately trying to hang on here, man. Desperately. Oh, DTs. He realizes there's no Overseer. Oh, there it is. There it is. Overseer comes in and there's DTs. Bit of shield battery healing on them. Not bad, man. Haas fighting like a champ. Snipes the Overseer. Bly has to pull back. I love this is so typical of Haas. He gets ahead and he takes a bit of a sloppy engage really over here. Like I said, he needed to send half of his army up here, and if he could have branched Zealots into like the natural at the same time, I think it might have worked. But because he came in one direction in that choke point, the Roach Ravager really worked it. A lot of units got distracted in the mineral line over there. But then when he's on the back foot and his army supply is 1/5 of the Zerg, Haas suddenly looks like a god again. Like, you give Haas small tactical engagements, one of the best players in the world. I still think he's dead in this game, but it's just, there is this like weird thing where when he gets ahead, sometimes he does just let his opponent back into it because he's just not as good with the big armies. I really think with Zealot Archon, the power is hitting in multiple areas. Don't let the Roach Ravager ball up and be microed on one front, you know? Get Zealots hitting mineral lines in 2 or 3 places, make them engage into your Archons, into your sentries, and go from there. And Haas did unfortunately let Bly back into this game. Another 6 probes go down. Now Bly here is just making, they doesn't even have Bane speed, right? I don't know about this attack from Bly. I think Bly might have a bit of a boner, guys. Maybe getting a little bit overeager. These DT is going to run in and Spore Spine Overseer, so that's not going to do anything. This DT will get rejected from this mineral lane. Spine and Queen should push that back. Does take out a few workers and gets back though. He's going to come forward. The Banes are good versus the Zealots, but there's not many Zealots, so I don't really think the Banelings are the most effective unit here. A couple of nice force fields come down. The Biles will tear them. These Archons getting very low. I think there's just enough Roach Ravager. And ooh, Banes on the workers on the left-hand side. Yeah, I think Bly's got to pull back though, right? I don't think he can headbutt. Yeah, he wants to keep his Ravagers alive. Otherwise, yeah, the Stalkers and the Immortal's going to try and chase a little bit. Oh, good bile usage. Does take out a Stalker there. He's got some Changelings on the bottom. DT there. He's going to run back in. It's that same DT, but, you know, there's always a spine at each base, so limited utility here for Haas, who's now down to 30 probes and looks like he will indeed end up losing this game to the Master Roach Ravager. Honestly, though, hats off to Bly for pulling back from this low ground base. If we watch that fight again really quickly, you're going to see it was just a big blunder there from Haas. He was way in the lead, but this fight just did not quite work out. A lot of the Archons all stuck behind the Adepts and Sentries, fighting disjointed engagement, whereas all of the Zerg was fighting at once. Haas says ice. Oh, I think it's ice and chrome. The admin says, Pig, for semis, I'd like you to choose if you want top or bottom. Just let me know. Yeah. I am a child. Oh, all right. Let's take a look-see. So top or bottom? I don't know. What's in the top? So the top is Parting versus the winner of this. Bottom is winner of Namshar Solo versus Killian top. I will take top. Take the PvP. Bly parting or Haas parting, I think, is a better match than... I think Mcanning top, winner of that, is going to be severely disadvantaged against the Namshar Solar, or... I think it was Namshar Solar. But here we go, guys. It's map 3 of the Cheese Down. It is, of course, the EPT America's Weekly 25. We're going into map 3. Ties it up with a good comeback and a hold in that game. It is Bly. Bly, incredible holds from behind. Makes a lot of insane comebacks happen. Really impressed by that defense, but definitely, I think, was way too obvious. You can't telegraph your build minutes ahead with that purple gas. Like, that purple gas base, it means a Ravager-ling build. Means a Ravager Queen push, sorry. You know, and he was just so well prepared. This man read him like a book. Let's see if he can do it again in map 3. It's Haas. Haas was so far ahead after that DT hold. I would say the one issue for Haas was that he didn't get a Templar Archive, so he was making much more expensive Archons than he needed to with the DTs, and just took a bit too much of a one-directional engagement. But yeah, I think as Bly, you got to be a lot more flexible. You can't let him get that read on you. It's going to be a nice 16 pool, 17 hatch opening from Bly, which I do like. Very safe opening. Wants to be prepared against the cannon rush, and I reckon if there was a probe coming in now, he'd probably immediately pull a drone. But once again, Haas here going for a very economic opening. It's always good to see. Big thanks, AOD, Adoctinisawur. The 6-month resub, thanks mate, appreciate that. Enjoy your GM subscriber badge. For those guys of you who are new to the stream, please do consider supporting the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the description below. There is a link to my Patreon. Big thanks to those people who've recently hopped on board there, gone above and beyond. We don't really do a lot of rewards or anything like a lot of Patreons, but it's literally just like a, hey, look, if you guys enjoy the content, you know, we don't get a lot of ad money from the channel or anything like that, but it is a way of, if you watch a lot of the content, you feel like giving something back, even something like just $1 or $2 a month does make a big diff. Of course, for those watching on Twitch, don't forget, if you've got Amazon Prime, you can give me free Bezos bucks. Bezos bucks sounds like made up money, but it's not. It's not Monopoly money. It's real money. Straight out of a billionaire's pocket. Billionaire's pocket into my wallet. Out of the billionaire's pocket into my wallet. Get your Robin Hood going, Twitch chat. That's right. If you've never used it before, super easy to just go into your linked accounts and link that up. Ooh, this is great damage. Already 2 probes. A bit slow on the micro there from Haas. 2 Zergans in the natural come in as well. Oh, this is some great chaos. He's going to get a 3rd probe. Oh, if he's going to get to 4th. Oh my god, 4th. And 1 in the natural. Haas, what the hell, man? Oh my god. Haas caught completely with his pants down here. You should not be losing 5 probes to 6 Zerglings coming in, guys. That's a massive mistake. Not only that, Bly spots the ridiculously early Forge, which, by the way, is the strangest build ever. He's like, yeah, I'm just getting fast +1. You're like, what? What? Bly is going to respond with a quick lair. Now, if your opponent rushes upgrades like this, I think one of the best things you can do, drone up greedily. You know there's no attack coming out of this until at least when +1 kicks in, and even that is too early. So it's going to be several minutes of safety. If we just see a ton of drones and then go for muters, I would like to see a 3rd base for the flexibility, which he's missing right now. He's also supply blocked as Bly. So Bly's building 8 Zerglings, which is, I mean, in of itself, not terrible. You can push the Adepts across away and stuff, right? But don't go out and hunt them. You know, you've actually got to be really conservative. He's still not building any Overlords, is Bly. So it looks like he wants to go really quick 2-base meter. I think that's amazing versus someone who's rushing upgrades now. Uh-oh, Haas commits to it, but it's a trap. The Zerglings come in. He's going to grab a 2nd. Can he get a 3rd? He can actually. If he gets a 4th, that's worth it. Hey, not too bad. 4 drone kills there. So I do think not terrible. And seeing no 3rd base, I mean, as Haas, this is rough. I think he's got to hallucinate. He's going to use it to kill the Overlord. Actually, that Overlord's going to get out, man. He's going to have to send the Stalker to the outside if he wants to kill that, which is dangerous because there's Lings out there. And oh my god. Oh, he just elevates 8 Zerglings straight into Infestation Pit. Bly! He's going for a crazy Zergling drop into this little gap in the vision. Oh my god. Haas doesn't see it until too late. They're going to run in there. Haas is moving out to take a 3rd. The Zergling's in his base. Bly running circles around Haas right now. Haas has to pull into the pocket and try to fight there. Does take a decent engage, but he's going to lose at least a handful of probes. Now, Bly does want to keep these Zerglings alive. Not getting quite as much done as I think he wanted here. There's a few that are still on very low hit points, though he gets 1 more. And and does not get that. 4 probes, not as bad as it could have been. So mitigates the damage. I guess the threat here is the infestation pit, but even that, I'm like, wait, what are you doing with this infestation pit? Like, what is... I don't know if Bly knows what he's doing, guys. He's gone what looks like a cheeky butthole build, which for you who don't know, it's a 2-base Nidus Swarm Host. So the Nidus is basically a butt that spews farts at your opponent. It's cheeky, though, because you're putting Swarm Hosts in it, which is Hell Muffins. So that's the equivalent of, like, I don't know, you know you're going to fart on your opponent's pillow, but you're like, I ate a lot of, like, I don't know, cheese and hot dogs and junk food, so I know it's going to smell bad, you know? The thing is, it's so committed. That's the real big problem here, and if this hallucination can find out about it, he is going to be able to deal with that. Okay. Alright. He sees the infestation pit. What's the response, man? He's got a 3rd up. Haas needs more gateways right now. He's got 2 gates. He's got 3 more there. They're very exposed. If those get depowered, he's in big trouble. He's trying to get more gates, trying to get a Templar Archives. He's got Charge on the way. I think Charge Zealots and Archons, some of the highest damage units, they're very good at just killing Locusts before it really becomes a problem. Ooh, Haas is going to find it straight away, though. Bly's got to micro this. He's got to micro... Oh, he does quickly micro those Locusts. It's tempting to go for the sentries, but I think going for the main is probably a good idea. Oh, he's going to throw a few more as well. Oh, he's got to be careful. Doesn't want to get trapped there. And he's going to try to take out 1 sentry, 2 sentry. Oh, he gets a few of the sentries there. Really well played. At the same... Oh, he gets every sentry. The ones in the main base do get cleaned up. But guess what? There's a Nidus Worm in the back of the main. He's forcing Zealot Warpins there. Haas scrambling to try to defend right now. He's going to clean that one up. It will buy him a moment of chill. He's going to do another Nidus Worm there now. These Zealots are looking. Haas, he's doing really good at zoning this out right now. If he can survive for another minute, he's got like a way better army head-to-head. It's just 13 Swarm Hosts and a bunch of Zerglings. He stops it getting up. Oh, this is massive. Bly needs to get this Nidus up. Right now, his Swarm Hosts are ready to throw their babies, guys. And any moment your Swarm Hosts are ready and loaded and you are not firing, it is a huge problem because they take so long to reload. So any downtime where your opponent's able to just build up without you actually doing damage, super rough for you as the Zerg player. Now, he's going to throw Locust, but check this out. He throws them. Some of those do get aggroed. He's going to try to use those to cover his move forward here. He's trying to throw more Locusts, but not really finding any damage. So Haas here mitigates a wave. Some of these Locusts are going to take out a few probes. But these ones, look at that. Haas just pulls back, pulls back, pulls back, pulls back. Here we go. This is where the potential damage happens. And oh, Haas, you got to pull further back. Even just a few seconds in the mineral line is all the probes need. Oh, all the Locusts need, sorry. 7 workers go down. Remember, Bly is still only on 40 workers right now, guys. He's trying to use Zerglings to create threat in more positions, more angles. He wants to open this up. If he can get another wave of Locusts right in on the base, it'll be big. But look at that. He's not able to. Archons and Zealots deal with it. Uh-oh, no. Bly did get one up on the left-hand side. He can throw another one. But look at Haas's movement. And there we go. Okay, you see these Locusts only getting a few Zealots. He wants more than that. That's not enough damage. So he's going to look for another wave here. Single individual Zealots baiting out Locusts. Look at this. His army's just backing away. Now that Archon will fall. That one does go down. That one's almost dead. A Pylon and Archon. You might be like, cool, that's free damage. It's just not costing him anything. Haas is building up though. I mean, he's only at 45 probes. That's a lot of Zealot Archon. And at some moment, Haas is going to go across the map with 24 Zealots, 2 Archons. And how exactly are you going to stop that with just a pack of Zerglings and a few Swarm Hosts? The Swarm Hosts are useless defensively, more or less, unless you can lock him into a fight with Roaches and Zerglings. This attack is coming. There is 14 Roaches out. Bly knows about the threat, but I think he's got to give up the 3rd base. He's got to pull further back. He managed to hold on in a situation like this before, but right now, he is looking like he's just going to get overwhelmed. Yeah, he's got to use these Locusts defensively. I love that he's pulling back here. He's trying to isolate him. There's no force fields. Ooh, Bly here. Yeah, look at this. Great engage. Uses the Locusts defensively. But look at that. Haas takes out the 3rd and pulls back and says, okay, you're using them defensively now. This is my time to shine. More probes on the way. And when those Locusts disappear, Haas is going to immediately re-engage. He says, guess what? No more Locusts for you, buddy. 3rd hatch will immediately get snapped. Bly here is like, oh shit, we got another 20 seconds until these Locusts come off cooldown. 13 seconds, 12 seconds, pulls back behind the spines. Haas wants to fight right here, right now. Transfuse is trying to go down. Biles landing on some of these Zealots. The Swarm Hosts coming off cooldown in 3, 2, 1 second. But Haas here, look at that. He's going to warp in Zealots on top, but the bile cancels the wave. The Locusts are going to come in now. Is Haas going to wipe out the army and do this? I think he might be able to do it. The Ravagers running circles, but look at this. Haas dives deep. If he can take out the drones before these Locusts engage, this might just work out. The Archon's trying to get behind the mineral line. Those Locusts only have 6 seconds left on their life. The Archon's trying to micro their way back here, taking out as many drones as they can. At the same time, there are Zealots taking out that 4th base, that new 3rd base, I should call it, for Bly. The Archon's now trading with the Roaches. This is absolute madness. Is this enough damage for Haas? I don't know, man. He's on 3 base, up against 2. He takes that one out again. The Swarm Hosts are still there, though. 14 Swarm Hosts alive. That is the big renewable resource of the Zerg player. It gives him hope. He can load up. If he gets one more wave on these bases, we might see Haas eliminated from this game in this series. More Zealots coming in. Roaches in small numbers. He's got to keep using Locust defensively. This is so scrappy. And Haas dives in the main base. Oh, you absolute Chad. Haas realizes if he keeps the fighting in the Zerg main, the Locust can't do anything. There's Swarmos there, but he's so busy fighting at home. He's got so few Roaches. Does Bly right now, and his main is getting ransacked. Locusts are coming in here. They will kill some probes, but will it be enough? He's back on 1 base mining right now. He's only got a handful of Roaches. Haas here, push coming to shove. And Haas, oh my god. Oh my god, back at home, he ran his probes away from that base, by the way, got them out of there. The Zealots tearing up the mineral line, there's no Roaches left. And Bly here trying to go 2 base, cheeky butthole, but he could not get the momentum. Haas, so important, those first shutdowns. Those first shutdowns, if those first Locust waves did just a little bit more damage, I tell you, this game looks completely different. But Haas did a fantastic job, even though he lost the sentries on that early wave. Remember, this was like a 6-minute Nidus pop-up into Locust. This is so fast. But he kept his 3rd up, stopped himself from taking critical losses. Real quick reaction. Look at that. Pulls back, goes back down. These Locusts, unfortunately, did not do big damage. Look at that. And every time they come in, he pulls away, pulls back, goes back to mining. Yeah, he loses a few sentries. Not the end of the world. Gets this just before it pops up. Cleared up the other Nidus Worm. Suddenly. And look at this. Starts checking. Stalker there. Zealots come up here and find it. And this was a very important snipe. And even then here, he doesn't let them run forward and throw Locusts into his natural. He says, hey, use those defensively. Look at that. Forces a bunch of them to land. Only a few Locusts get in the base. No Nexus in danger. No production in danger. And even though he loses probes, it's not the damage that Bly needs. GG, well played. Incredible play by Haas there. Very decisive counterattack. And great handling of a very difficult situation. GG, well played. Haas will go forwards to play against Parting in the next round.